بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على النبي الكريم وبعد. Honorable brothers and sisters, we have something in our tradition called Kutub Asma al-Rijal, which basically means that the books dedicated to the biographies of luminary scholars of the past. Talks about how they narrated the hadith, how they lived a life of taqwa, salah, zuhud, and how they lived a life worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there are also chapters within the books talks about the women as well. Some of the women who have dedicated their lives worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is an unusual story about a particular woman I would like to talk about. Try to understand this first of all, that she was the daughter of a Caliph. Her grandfather was a Caliph. She had 4 brothers, they were Khulafa. And she was marrying a Caliph. Now the word Caliph and Khulafa in the 21st century, we don't understand this much. So I will replace this with the word king, so we understand that what kind of a woman she was. So she's the daughter of a king, her grandfather was a king, she married a king, and she had 4 brothers who were kings as well. Imagine the lifestyle that she had, full of luxury. Such a prestigious, rich lineage. I don't think that we have anyone in the history like that. Her name was Fatima. And her father name was Fatima. Her father name was Al-Malik. Al-Malik ibn Marwan. And her grandfather name was Marwan ibn al-Hakam. So Marwan ibn al-Hakam, the Umayyad Caliph. Al-Malik is the Umayyad Caliph. And then her brothers, 4 brothers, all of them were Khulafa. One was called Walid ibn Al-Malik. Another one was called Sulaiman ibn Al-Malik. The third was called Yazid ibn Al-Malik. And the 4th was called Hisham ibn Al-Malik. This woman's story doesn't get much mentioning, but I find it very powerful. Every time I think about it, I say, wow, what a woman she was. Such a rich lifestyle. She grew up in the palaces, palace after palace after palace. And everyone is to give her gift because she's the daughter of a king. Her grandfather is also a daughter. Everyone is to give her gift, gold and pearls and precious gems and precious stones and all of that she had. Anyway, she's marrying someone very special though. She's marrying a man who doesn't like the dunya. He decided that I don't want nothing to do with this dunya. I want the akhirah. And this is not easy, by the way. You know, if you don't have it, then you have no choice. But when you have it and then you give up, that's very difficult. That's why I always say, the Prophet ﷺ, he wasn't poor. It's a mistake that we have in our community. He wasn't poor. The Prophet of Allah was very rich. That's what I say to you. He was very rich, our Prophet ﷺ. But he chose a life of a poor person. He didn't want the lifestyle. That's the difficult part. When you have the money and you make sacrifice, that's a sacrifice. If you don't have it, then you don't have it, That's no sacrifice. You have to do sabr. But she had all of that. So what happened? She basically, I'm talking about Fatima here. She was marrying a person who decided he doesn't like the luxury of the dunya. He never liked the palace. And he was a person always studying knowledge. He became a mufassir of the Quran. He became a faqih, a jurist. He also became a muhaddith. He is one of the most knowledgeable person of that time. That's how. And then later on he became a Khalifa as well. He is Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayh. So she married Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayh. The man full of taqwa. Every single night this is the person who is to ponder on the verses of the Quran. So the day she got married, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was welcoming, she was moving with Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. To Umar ibn Abdul Aziz's surprise is that she's bringing Allah. So all this jewelry is the collection from her childhood. They're all coming into the room as well. And in the olden days, you bring the jewelry by putting onto the camel. It's a camel load. So one camel came. Normally when someone marries, they have a very small, tiny jewelry box. And that's so beautiful. They take so many selfies and shows it to everyone. We are not talking about small jewelry box here. We are talking about camel load after camel load after camel loads. Can you imagine how much? Umar bin Abdul Aziz goes, where are we planning to keep all this? And then Umar bin Abdul Aziz said that, I would like to speak to you. This is very important to me. So what is it? He said, I married you. And together we want to live a life pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This kind of luxurious life I could have chosen as well, but I gave up a long time ago. And I'm marrying you. Together, both of us, we're going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're going to raise pious children, inshaAllah ta'ala. So that we're going to enjoy life, not only in the dunya, also in the hereafter as well. So my dear wife, I give you a choice. It's a very difficult ultimatum. You choose me or you choose the gold. That's not an easy choice. She could have said, you know what, I could marry anyone I want. I'm a princess. You know, do you know who I am? I could marry whoever I want. I don't need you. This is the language of the 21st century. Is a lot of women like that. I don't need to get married. You know, I could stay single all my life. And you know, why do I need to marry someone? She could have, no, she realized, you know what, I want to be with this person. Because usually people are after in gold and silver. This man doesn't want anything. He just wants me. I want to be with him. Because you know what? I don't want all this. I really want you actually. That's why I married you. He said, fine. In that case, all the gold that you have here, I'm going to give all that to Baytul Mal, to the Sadaqah, so the Muslim Ummah could benefit from it. She said, do it inshallah ta'ala, no problem. All gone now, finished. Now remember, this, what kind of lifestyle she has? Now she moves in with Umar bin Abdul Aziz and they choose a life. And Umar bin Abdul Aziz saying that together both of us are going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously. We're going to revive all the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our house. Inshallah ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, they didn't have lots of wealth, but they had a happy marriage. I want a happy marriage. And they have a very happy marriage. Now she as a lady changed now every single day. She became very pious. She was already, inshallah, before the marriage, she was, although she had a very wealthy lifestyle, but she was praying her salah, you know. But now it's extra. Because in the company of Umar bin Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi. Sadly, the marriage didn't last too long because a few years later, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, he passes away. Rahimahullah ta'ala. But mashallah, they have 3 children. You know, 4 or 5 years later, the marriage, they have 3 children. One was called Ishaq, one was called Yaqub, and one was called Musa. They had 3 boys, mashallah. And then he passes away, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah ta'ala. So one of the khadim, someone who knows Fatima, she said, you know what, the day Umar bin Abdul Aziz gave all the gold and everything away, yeah, one of your precious ring that does not exist anywhere in the world, it's made of pure, you know, it's diamond. That diamond ring, I still have it. I kept it because I knew that you liked that so much. So I kept it. When I took it to the Baytul Mal, I put it to a side. I kept it for you. And I know Umar bin Abdul Aziz has passed away now, and you guys are going to be suffering, so please take this and use it. She said a very powerful sentence, which is the reason why I'm talking today. She said, ما كنت أطيعه حيا وأعصيه ميتا. I am not like one of those women who obeys their husband when they are in front and disobey them when they are away. No, I gave it happily. And I want this to be given back. I don't know why you delayed it. Please quickly take this back. I don't want to look at it. The day I gave it away for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, all this gold belongs to her. It's her own belonging. She just listened to the mashwara of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. But she didn't sincerely. When you give something away for the sake of Allah, you give it and you believe that you will be rewarded. Don't have any ifs and buts in your mind. She goes, I was 100% sure that I gave all this away. You shouldn't have kept this behind. I know you're very sincere and you want something good for me, but the fact that I gave you for the sake of Allah, I believe that I will be rewarded for this, inshallah ta'ala. So go, give it away. Because I do not want to obey him when he's alive and disobey him when he's passed away. Subhanallah. This is a result of living a life of taqwa. That you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all moments of your life. And then the obedience that you have for each other. By the way, although she's saying like that, Umar will be the same thing as well. Umar bin Abdul Aziz, that he would not disobey, in a sense like he would not cheat or deceive or lie his wife wherever he goes. Because he is a Khalifa, he has to go to so many places. Can you imagine, and as a young Khalifa, a rich Khalifa, that most of the people will be throwing themselves at him. But no, Umar bin Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi, he was also the same as well. He could say the same thing as well. I am not here to cheat on my wife. And I am not here to disobey her behind her back like that. The life of honesty like this, when you have, subhanallah, then you have a happy marriage. This is the marriage that taught to us by our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That there shouldn't be any conspiracy. There shouldn't be any hidden agendas. But everyone should have clarity. And everything should be very clear. If you have a life like this, the marriage life, it becomes a very happy life. Like our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and all the azwaj al-mutahharat, and like Ali and Fatima and all the pious companions that we had in our life as well. And this is just a story. Both of them are not Sahaba. I mean, she's not a Sahabiya and he's not a Sahabi as well. but they lived a life like the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were taught by our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to take heed, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan.